Hey, what's up, Guardians? TBL here, coming back at you with some gameplay here that looks strange. It's oddly familiar, but wholly alien to me. I'm not quite sure what this game is. That's right, we're back on a little bit of Destiny, running the daily mission. Or actually, rather, we're just out in patrol. While we take some time to talk to you about a few things. It's actually middle of the day right now. I just got back in from lunch. Oh man, I had me some delicious, delicious pizza. There's a local pizza place around here that I like to go to from time to time, and whenever I go there, I get a large pepperoni with some extra cheese on it. So good. Got nothing to do with this video though. I just wanted to let you know what I was eating. But just like that delicious pizza, we have got some delicious news concerning the future of Destiny. Now, of course, last week we got the Bungie Weekly update. This week at Bungie, and the big hype surrounding it was the fact that Bungie actually broke radio silence and talked a bit about the upcoming spring update. We got a date for it, and we got a roadmap going forward. Now we're going to be going over that very quickly, and then talking about a couple of other things. A little bit of what's speculated to be in the update, a little bit of what's not, and Bungie's plans going forward with their Twitch page and their weekly streams, which I've been greatly enjoying. Now, the first biggest piece of news coming out of this is, of course, that the spring update is going to be dropping on April 12th. That is not far away at all. Honestly, I was expecting maybe end of April, beginning of May-ish for us to finally be getting whatever was in this update. So the fact that it's happening in early April, that makes me smile. And I tell you, Guardians, I cannot wait. You know I've been waiting for some new Destiny content. The game has definitely been dry. And the fact that it's been like 6 or 7 months since our last real PvE update is a little ridiculous. So I'm happy to be finally getting some things in this update. But what is actually in this update? Well, Bungie gave us a little bit of a list. We're going to have some new PvE challenges, new and updated gear, hopefully meaning a tower vendor reset, new quests featuring the Blighted Chalice Strike, increased max light level and max light rewards, some overall changes to the PvE and Crucible sandbox, meaning very likely weapon balance updates, and much more. This is exactly what I wanted to hear coming out of Bungie, and I can't wait to see more of what they've got. They have announced that this update will be free to anyone who's already purchased the Taken King, so if you've got the Taken King, you've got whatever's coming in this update. And now I guess we could take a little bit more of a microscope to what exactly we're going to be getting in here. Personally, my expectations were probably going to be getting the rest of the Year 1 strikes moved forward into Year 2. So for those of you who've been missing your buddy Fogoth the Untamed, you'll probably be seeing him around April 12th. Same thing for the Archon Priest. Oh, and my homie Sepix Prime, and I really hope that's the case because I kind of really miss running some of those old strikes. As crazy as it sounds with how often we had to run them in Year 1, it never feels good to, be disincentivized from running that old content, and I'm glad it's going to be moving up to Year 2. Now, moving forward, Bungie is also going to be taking the 3 weeks time that we have to wait for the new update to basically be talking about it on their Bungie ride-along live streams every Wednesday afternoon. Starting this week on the 23rd, they're going to be having their April update preview showing off the new things to do in Destiny once this update goes live. Then, next week on March 30th, they're going to be showing the new things that there will be to earn. Possibly new currencies, probably new weapons and armor, and I can't wait for that. And then finally on April 6th, they're going to be showing off the Sandbox and Crucible updates, which will probably be heavily centered around weapon balance. And then after that, it'll be the week of the 12th, and we'll have that April spring update, and I can't wait. This is exactly what I thought they would be doing when they announced that they were opening up, making their own in-house Twitch studio. I figured it's going to be for the revealing and for ride-alongs and stuff for new content, and I can't wait to see what's going to be going on, especially this week when they show off some of the new activities. Now let's talk a little bit about those new activities themselves, because there's been a lot of speculation. And we've kind of unofficially got a little bit more evidence towards the big idea here, and that is that Prison of Elders from House of Wolves last year is going to be making its way into Year 2. It's going to be getting an updated mode, very likely with new light level gear. Now, of course, the biggest piece of evidence for this is basically the fact that in the weekly update, Bungie, one of the heading pictures shows off Guardians with what looks to be a Taken sort of shader. But more importantly than the shader is the fact that the Guardians are wearing Prison of Elders gear and they're standing in front of the reef. That's right, they are in the Vestian Outpost, and that is PoE gear. That Titan airplane helmet is unmistakable. So, naturally, this has led people to come to the conclusion that Prison of Elders is going to be brought forward into Destiny Year 2. Now, for you Taken King Guardians who never really went through Prison of Elders or any of the older raids and whatnot, PoE is kind of like a round-based arena horde mode. You go through 4 or 5 rounds depending on what mode you're playing it on, and fight waves and waves of enemies and the occasional boss, and then at the end, you get to open a treasure chest, if you've got some treasure keys, and get some pretty cool rewards. It was a pretty fun system back in Year 1, but it admittedly got a little bit old, especially when Skolas, the final boss of level 35, which was previously the hardest thing in the game, was a little bit on the ridiculous side. But anyways, it's looking like PoE might be making a return with brand new difficulties, brand new, probably Taken variants of enemies, and all kinds of other stuff. Now this is further hinted at via a tweet from one of Bungie's community managers, Eric Osborne, also known as Irk McGurk. Previously, a lot of people, myself included, speculated that this April Spring update was probably going to be revamping older content like Vault of Glass and Crota's End, and I really still hope that happens sometime in the future. So naturally, when all of this stuff about PoE started coming out with the weekly update, people got hyped thinking about Vault of Glass and Crota's End and what that might mean for the future of the Taken King. Well, Eric Osborne has taken to Twitter to say, no Vault of Glass or Crota's End stuff coming for April, and to basically set your expectations accordingly. Now, personally, in my opinion, this is a pretty good preemptive move because a lot of people, again, after seeing the Prison of Elders gear and assuming that PoE is going to be updated, also assume that VoG and Crota's End would also be updated. So they'd be a little bit disappointed when the spring update came out and there's no mention of either of those two raids. So, right on for doing PR right and letting us know ahead of time, hey, don't get your hopes up. But I do want to say, he just said that those weren't coming for April. Nothing about the expansions coming out later this year. Who knows, we'll see. But the big ticket there is he didn't mention Prison of Elders at all. And Prison of Elders has been by far the #1 thing that the community's been talking about ever since this weekly update went out. So the fact that Ol Eric specifically mentioned that Vault of Glass and Crota's End would not be coming forward, but didn't say anything about PoE, it's a little bit on the telling side. And hopefully it means we will be getting an upgraded Prison of Elders that maybe this time around will be a little bit more fun. Anyways, who knows, but that's all I've got for you guys. Now personally, I'm happy to see Prison of Elders return. I always thought it was a pretty fun game mode. And besides, an updated PoE might mean we might get an updated version of the etheric light system from Year 1, allowing us to maybe even infuse and bring forward certain pieces of armor that we haven't seen in Year 2. And of course weapons too. An updated PoE means updated Queen's Wrath weapons. Can I get myself a Year 2 Her Benevolence, please? Please? Maybe. I guess we'll find out. Either way, I absolutely cannot wait to see what Bungie's gonna have in store on their ride-along stream tomorrow, March 23rd at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It should be interesting to say the least. But alright, it's gonna be it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to let me know what you think about the April Spring update in the comment section below. Do you think we're gonna be getting Prison of Elders? Are you happy about it? Or are you indifferent because you're playing Division? Be sure to let me know. But alright, that's it for this one, guys. As always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians stay frosty. And I'll see you in spring.